Hi everybody, this is Adam.
And I'm Aaron.
We're here with the TWNRGY Podcast, and today we're going to be talking about excuses. First of all, we want to start off by thanking Matthew Guillen, Matt Guillen as well.
For designing the new logo, or the existing logo.
And also Gramercy Art Collective, Bug, for creating the shirts and the mugs.
There we go, mugging it up.
Cheers, mugging it up, baby.
And also Sonia for her help as well. You guys did a great job.
So thank you guys for your help. Appreciate it. And so, just kind of talking about excuses. That with excuses, it's easy for us to make them because it's just we don't want to do something. And, I didn't want to do it because of that. And it's just we don't really want to put much effort into changing. We get kind of comfortable in our comfort zone. And I just like sitting on the couch when I get home. I don't want to go to the gym. It's just very easy in a way that we could just be complacent and not want to change to better ourselves. Because sometimes people just have the excuse, well, I've gotten this far in life, right? No, why do I need to change?
Yeah, all the time from people, especially if you're older and you've survived this long. It doesn't necessarily make it the right way to survive or do things, or why not incorporate something new that may be beneficial to you?
Because maybe you're living at a certain standard of life which may be decent to you or whoever, to us, but there's always that level that we could go above, whether it's physical, mental, financial, just many different reasons that or different ways and aspects of our lives that we could better ourselves without
and people around us as well.
Sometimes you have to start with yourself before you help out others.
Oh, definitely.
So it's like once you get yourself right, then
like an airplane mask. Put it on yourself before you put on the little kids over here.
Yeah, so take care of yourself, and then that'll allow you to help many other people. So stop making excuses and make it happen.
Yeah, it's easy just to justify your shortcomings or justify why you're not going to do something. But one thing that I try to say on a regular basis is be comfortable with the uncomfortable. On my desk on a little post-it note, I look at it pretty often. Be comfortable with the uncomfortable. Because before you know it, those uncomfortable things become easy, and that's the easy thing. And then next, you're finding the next challenge for you to bust out of that comfort zone that you're in now. And it's just a great way for self-improvement and to better yourself in the long term. And like Adam said, you better yourself, and then you're geared up to help other people as well.
Just kind of a couple of major excuses that people use is that, I ate bad because I was too tired when I got home from work, or I just didn't have the time to prepare something, so I ordered a pizza. And then nowadays you got Grubhub and Uber Eats, all those different apps where it's like they just
technology, a gift and a curse, man.
I know, they just deliver it right to your front door. It's like everywhere you go, it's so easy to make these bad decisions and have excuses to justify them.
Yeah.
But it's hard to go out there and say, I'm going to go to the grocery store, wait in this long line. There's always people around 5 o'clock at the freaking grocery store, just in the parking lot inside. And
everybody gets off at work at the same time, gets hungry at the same time. No one wants to do anything the day before, so they go to the grocery store after work, and we all have that dilemma.
So it's just, you're going to wait a little. Just take it that you're going to wait in line, getting through there, getting groceries, and then come home, and it's going to take a little bit of time to cut up your vegetables, mix it together, put the spices in there. Yeah. But in the end, it's only going to benefit your health. So rather than going to McDonald's, getting a fillet of fish.
Just make the effort. Make the effort to better yourself and challenge yourself.
And then also, a lot of people make excuses for is not going to the gym. I didn't feel like working out today. I had a bad day. I didn't feel well. I got out of work late. When with the getting out of work late excuse, my rebuttal would be go first thing in the morning. Because if you get your workout done in the morning, wake up an hour earlier, work out for 45 minutes, you get it done, and you don't have to worry about it the rest of the day. It's not on your mind thinking, did I bring my gym clothes? Did I bring this? And did I bring that? You have it ready the night before, and you go, you do it, and there's no excuses on why you can't do it at the end of the day.
Yeah, and people make excuses whether or not they're not in the right mindset. They want to do other things before they start getting back into the gym, or they have nagging injuries. There's so many opportunities to do different types of exercise. If you have existing knee pains, which a lot of people do, then go on a bike, or they even have those kind of like those hand bikes where you just put you instead of using your feet to spin the little crank around, you use your arms. And there's just so many variations of exercises to do that get your heart rate up, burn calories, and make things a lot more easy in your life, whether it's the weight that's on your knees or just even making you happy. Working out increases serotonin, which makes you happier. So who wants to make excuses to not be happy?
And then it's just good you're bettering yourself by not making excuses, because it's so easy to do that. So then the thing would be to don't make excuse, challenge yourself. You're like, is this easy to do that? And you go like, okay, I'm not going to make this excuse. I'm actually going to get up and go walk around the block, or I'm going to go to the gym for 30 minutes. And it just, you're like, okay, I'm doing something. I'm out of my comfort zone. I'm challenging myself. And in the long run, you're making yourself stronger mentally, physically, and you can be more able-bodied to do whatever you want to do. And it's just, you're just overall a stronger person by doing these different things.
Yeah, and just by betting yourself by not making excuses, one thing that Adam and I do is we challenge one another. Like one thing that, just off the top of my head, that we do is, hypothetically, if one of us wants to buy something, like, oh, whether it's a new hot item electronically, it's like, oh, I need to get such and such. Like, well, do you need it? Or do you want it? Because you're just justifying it. You know, like there's not necessarily a need for the latest iPhone, but people feel as though they do because they fall victim to the marketing.
I agree. It's easy. You just make excuses.
Justify excuses.
I needed a new phone. I've had this one a year, so just excuses. And I'm getting a bonus, so that'll do it. That's it. You're justifying it with an excuse.
Yeah, and then your excuses lead to repercussions that you might not think of in the present, because it might put you into financial issues down the line, all these bills, and now you have the stress that you created, and because you want to make excuses to buy this or that. But yeah,
and as Aaron said a minute ago, I'm like, we're all guilty of it. I make excuses, I'm sure, probably on a daily basis.
Same here.
So I try to mitigate it. Like, I'll try to make sure that I'm not putting out a bunch of excuses for everything I do, but I'm just a defensive person by nature, and so I kind of like to explain myself, and explaining myself can be looked at as making an excuse.
Which it is in my book.
So, yeah, I just try to work on that personally on a daily basis, because I know I've been told that quite a few times. But yeah, just taking stock, taking ownership in that, and just knowing, I'm going to make a mistake. I'm going to make excuses. But I just remember as a kid, my mom saying, hey, Adam, can you take out the trash or vacuum the carpet? And then an hour would go by, 2 hours go by, and then I'd get to do it, but she'd already done it. It was just me being lazy and not wanting to stop playing video games or doing whatever I was doing, screwing around. So
yeah, and I feel I was the king of excuses back in the day. A lot of the same things Adam did, I did. But then whether it's family outings, I would tell my mom, oh yeah, I got homework to do, I'm just going to stay home. We'll see him at Thanksgiving or Easter, you name it, the next holiday. But you never can get those times back. You're never going to get those moments back. So I don't want to make excuses to not hang out with family, because I want to do selfish things, like stay home and play video games, stay home and watch a TV show, or whatever the case may be. And also just other things, like whether I made excuses for getting bad grades. Oh, the teacher didn't like me. But at the end of the day, I didn't study enough. Or some excuses in just like personal life, like if I was to talk to a girl when I was living at home, I just make up excuses that, oh, she's not gonna like me, I'm living at home. Just be your champion of yourself. Talk yourself up, because once you have these negative thoughts in your mind, you've already lost.
Yeah, it's just easy for us to make excuses on why not to do things when we should just be out there making things happen. Because if we're not doing it, somebody else is, and somebody's getting ahead of us. Because it just makes life that much more harder on us as we go and do these things. And if you take care of yourself, you're able to help others by not making these excuses of why you didn't do this, why you didn't go help that person. You help yourself and you're helping others in turn.
Yeah, and like for me, a lot of people make excuses because they want to do something cushy. Like, oh, I don't want to eat well because I like to be happy and eat whatever else I'm eating. Or I don't want to work out because I just want to sit here and veg out in front of the TV. But for me, as I've gotten older and more self-aware of my actions, I feel better attempting a challenge, whether it's going to the gym after a long day, after a busy day, or whatever the case may be, or being challenged professionally, financially, and just physically, whatever the challenge is. I'd rather take on the challenge and fail. I feel much better doing that than I would taking the easy route out, because I'm not challenging myself. I'm not bettering myself, because when you do challenge yourself, you feel a whole lot better even if you fail, because you learn from failure. And I don't like to make excuses because I don't want to fail. I'm not afraid of failure. I'm going to attempt something. If I don't pass, if I don't do well, hey, there's always another time.
So hopefully you've learned from this podcast to try to make less excuses. We're all prone to it.
We're going to make them.
We're going to make them, definitely, for sure. But just try to mitigate it and do it the least amount as possible and make your life a lot better and easier on yourself.
Yeah, and just at the end of the day, just police yourself. As you say something, realize what you're saying, and just like, oh man, make it a point the next time to not make that excuse.
Bite your tongue, whatever you gotta do.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I just want to also, again, thank Matt Guillen for the logo, Gramercy Art Collective for the shirts and the mugs, and Bug and Sonia. So thank you all very much. Appreciate your help. And yeah, have a great day.
Cheers.
Adam
and Aaron, TWNRGY Podcast. Take care.